Welcome to episode 355 of the Dreams and Drive podcast. Today is going to be a solo episode, and we're going to be talking about the idea of trusting the process, aka trust the timing of your life. This was on my heart to speak to you all about, and it's really taken from some profound lessons I've taken away from motherhood recently over the past few months, and just some things that my son has taught me that has really, I think, helped me with this stage of the dream driving journey that I'm at. As you guys know, I am 8 months pregnant, about to pop anytime now. And things have been a little bit slower. This year has been a little slower. These past 3 years actually have been a little bit slower in my life, but have been quicker in a lot of areas. And I just had this thought on my mind to share with you all just what it means to really trust the timing of your life and how I've been using that ethos and that philosophy to just kind of stay sane and stay focused and stay encouraged and stay inspired. So I hope you guys enjoy that. But before we get into that, remember, if this is your first time listening, welcome to Dreams and Drive. This is a podcast where our guests come on the show from all walks of life, all industries, all creative facets, and share how they took their dreams out of park and drive. And then sometimes you hear some solo episodes from me, myself, Rana Campbell. I am a Princeton graduate who has an interesting story. It's funny because I was just thinking of maybe I'll do an episode called From Princeton to Paramount, and just all the things in my life that has really taken me to where I am today. If this is your first time listening, make sure that you're following us on social media. You can find us across the board on Dreams and Drive on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can also find us on TikTok and use that hashtag Dreams and Drive. I wonder if people are still posting with the hashtag, but yeah, definitely still use that so I can find you guys and engage back. And lastly, if you want to join our email newsletter, The Keys, just go to dreamsanddrive.com/join, dreamsanddrive.com/join. Having an email list and having you all be part of my email list is really important. So I would love to extend our community virtually there as well. So I don't want to make this a long episode, but I really feel like I want to speak from my heart. I actually woke up early this morning because it's been really hard for me to just get a lot of things done for myself lately. I've been deep into baby prep. Axel has been taking up a lot of my time, but I've had this feeling lately about, wow, sometimes you just got to sit back and trust the process. And the reason why I say that is because I think a lot of times in life, and in motherhood, I'll speak about motherhood as well, you spend a lot of time worrying. You spend a lot of time worrying, thinking, okay, am I on the right path? Is this taking as long as I'm supposed to? Why is this happening? When is this going to happen for me? Why isn't this happening yet? So, for example, I think that sometimes social media especially can make you feel like your life isn't moving as fast and isn't as glamorous as other people's life. Now, hear me out, guys. I know that you've probably been on social media and you've seen people posting about their fabulous lives and what they've accomplished and how they just opened a business yesterday and they have 15 million followers and 15 million sales. And this is where social media can become quite dangerous because people aren't showing you the downsides. People aren't showing you what's behind that. People aren't showing you the sacrifices or the deals or the things done behind the doors that have gotten them to where they are. Or sometimes you don't understand, like, what you think is overnight success may not have been an overnight success. That person could have been slaving for years, for months, for decades before they reach where they are. But social media really is a highlight reel. And I say that from across all spectrums. So I know, even for me, like, I like to post my son doing all these amazing things. I think he's amazing, talking and doing all this other stuff. But there might be other people who have children the same age where their kids are not doing the same thing. So I also am aware that, like, I post things, or you may post things, you may see things, but you have to look at it from that person's perspective because everybody's on their own timeline. Everyone's on their own journey. I think sometimes I have fallen, especially from a business standpoint, from a podcast standpoint, with everybody having a podcast nowadays, people having video podcasts, and sometimes we're wondering, like, am I not going as hard? Am I not, doing what I'm supposed to do? But this is where trust the timing of your life comes in. Whether you're searching for the latest sneaker drop, that iconic handbag, a timeless watch, or your next piece of classic jewelry, eBay authenticators are there verifying every detail of your purchase. Yep, we're talking each inch, stitch, tick, facet, and clasp that make the piece you're searching for worthy of your collection. eBay authenticators are experts in their craft, true connoisseurs, and as leaders in their fields, they're making sure your items always arrive as authentic as your style. So go ahead, get that piece you've always wanted, and leave it up to the meticulous eyes of an eBay authenticator to make sure that watch movement is original, that glimmer is real gold, that rare sneaker is legit, or that handbag is really made of genuine leather, and never get faked over again. In a world full of fakes, it's time to get real with eBay Authenticity Guarantee. Everyone deserves real. Visit ebay.com for terms. Hey Dream Drivers, ever since becoming a mom, life has changed for me in so many ways, and I've learned so much about what it takes to be a mother. One of the things I realized early on in this dream driving journey was how important having the right tools, aka diapers, in my toolkit is. When it comes to changing those dirty diapers, for me, it's all about making the smartest choice. I need reliability and quality, and Pampers gives me that. You may save a couple cents on other brands, but will you save time and convenience? Who wants more leaky diapers, more laundry because poop stains are not fun? And better yet, diaper rash? Not me. I don't worry about that with Pampers. There are other things you can save on, but honestly, your baby deserves the Pampers experience. I've sworn by Pampers with my son for the past 2 years. It's gentle on his skin, and I can trust that they can hold up throughout usage. As a busy dream driver already juggling so much, your diapers choice should be easy and worry-free. Make sure you download the Pampers Club app today to start earning free diapers. Ladies, we say period a lot, but do we ever talk about periods, aka our menstrual cycle? So I'm busy, I'm active, I'm always on the go, and sometimes pads just don't do it for me. I want to be able to move around and just feel, free. And here's the thing, a lot of us are scared of tampons, and we don't have to be. So let me tell you why. When inserted properly, tampons shouldn't hurt. Like a pad, Tampax can absorb even your heavy flow and give you an up to 100% leak-free experience you can't see or feel. And growing up in our communities as a teen, I remember there being this whole stigma and taboo around girls who used tampons versus girls who didn't. So I didn't really have anyone to talk to about it. Now, as a 30-something-year-old, I'm like, no, let's talk about it. Tampax has me covered. Chill mode, check. Supermom mode, check. On the go mode, check. Tampax is always there for the different types of days I have. There is no right or wrong way to manage your period. I'm just saying, mix it up sometimes and try Tampax. And I'm going to give you this biggest thing that I think Axel has taught me is the idea that milestones are not a one size fits all. So let me tell you a little bit of story about my son, Ax. I call him Ax Man. And what he's taught me, and it's really been so enlightening, and it may be so simple. So there was 3 things that I was been worried about with him because, he was post 2. So let's back up. Birthday's in September, turn 2. There were 3 things he was doing still that I was like, oh my gosh, she's never going to stop this, which is breastfeeding. Yes, I was a post-2 mom, still breastfeeding my son, not falling to sleep on his own, meaning that in order for him to go to sleep, he would have to get breastfed to sleep. Imagine a 2-year-old. And then lastly, on top of that, not sleeping through the night. He would wake up every 3 to 4 hours. And sometimes he would go back to sleep, but he would need me. He wouldn't just stay sleeping on his own for so long. And it was very stressful because number one, I didn't want to be, I was happy to have taken this breastfeeding journey as far and as long as I have, but I didn't want to be breastfeeding for the rest of his life, right? I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to stop? I didn't want to be one of those moms. No, Like, no judgment to anyone who does it past 2 or who's even into 3 or beyond. Everyone has their choice, but I didn't want to be that mother. But I'm like, this baby's going to have me trying to breastfeed. He's going to be trying to breastfeed till he's like 18. And then the sleeping on his own gave me anxiety because it was really hard for anyone else to put him to sleep. Even his dad, like it could be really hard at night. Like, he just would always want me, would always need me. And then the sleeping through the end of the night, like through the night, it's like, bro, can you just stay sleeping here too? Like, what's going on? But I knew that every child has their own developmental stage. And also around his second birthday, a little past his second birthday, I got pregnant. And so I'm thinking, okay, maybe this might change. There was like all these signs or articles I was reading saying that, oh, when you have the second baby, you know, your breast milk change and he will just stop. That did not happen. This boy was still trying to nurse. And I just got to this point where I just said, oh my gosh, I don't know how this is going to change. But there was one thing that I started doing is, I don't know if it was a little bit forceful, but I started encouraging him. And I'm just like, Axel, you're a big boy now. And I started offering it as much. Or there was a big thing that I also started doing is, I didn't like to see him cry, but I had to start saying no to him. And it's funny because eventually he started to get it, if that makes any sense. Like, we started with nap times. I wouldn't give him the breast to go to sleep, and he would fight me. He would be upset. He would cry a little bit, but eventually he went to sleep without, having to breastfeed, and that was eliminated. He was able to take naps. I mean, it took a lot longer. Not saying it was easier. It took a whole lot longer for him to go to sleep, but that was just something I was like, okay, that's one thing. Sleeping through the night, or actually breastfeeding in general. Let's go to that one. I don't know what day it was. I just said, Axel, milk is for the baby on the way, and you're a big boy now. And he said to me, he looked at me, I kid you not, y'all. He looked at me and he said, okay. Dream drivers, did you know Ford is sharing the inspiring stories of those behind the wheel who are accomplishing their goals, pursuing their dreams, and creating the world they want to live in? Built Ford Proud is highlighting Dee Bryant, a Ford driver who has shown strength in how she's breaking boundaries to create change in her field for all those around her. So Dee is a professional stunt driver who's been featured in over 100 films, movies, and shows. She began riding motorcycles at age 11. And get this, Dee always finds herself gravitating towards Ford vehicles as her personal ride when off screen. In fact, much of her stunt driving training took place in a Ford Mustang. Dee is one of few females and even fewer African-American female stunt drivers in the industry. She constantly battles against sexism, racism, and unfair representation as many productions try to get around hiring female drivers. Dee co-founded the Association of Women Drivers, a stunt driving school where she helps teach other women to stunt drive. She's just one of the many examples that show us dream drivers that Ford drivers come from all types of backgrounds and dream driving journeys. Learn more about Dee Bryant's story at Ford.com/builtfordproud. Breaking the mold, strengthening communities, creating change, real stories brought to you by Ford, Built Ford Proud. Dream drivers, Walgreens knows you need your medications, but sometimes what you really need is a prescription for more time with your family or friends, or just more time to do what you want on a Saturday afternoon. That's why Walgreens offers same-day RX delivery to where you are. So you can get more than just your meds. You can get your prescription to save time at the pharmacy. And when you have pharmacy questions, which let's face it, we all do, Walgreens will be there for you with a helpful 24/7 pharmacy chat. So when you need to know, which med do I take before bed again? Or, is it safe to have a glass of wine with my prescription? You can ask a Walgreens pharmacy expert that question no matter where you are or what time of day it is. And that gives you more than just answers. It gives you your prescription for peace of mind. Delivery is available on eligible prescriptions only. See details at walgreens.com/prescription delivery. This episode of Dreams and Drive is brought to you by McDonald's. All right, so I don't know about y'all, but for me, I have so many different memories of the McDonald's drive-thru experience. So as a kid, I remember always going with my mom and always asking for fries and a Happy Meal, and her just being like, Raina, you got McDonald's money? And I would say, no, but you do. And then as I grew up, one of my biggest memories of the McDonald's drive-thru was when I was actually pregnant with my son, Axel. I had this period where I was obsessed with McFlurries. And so I will always go to the drive-thru and then ask whoever was ringing me up to add some extra Oreos to my Oreo McFlurry, because that is exactly what me and baby needed. All the best nights out ended with a bite from Mickey D's. Everyone's got their own Mickey D's moments, so go on and make more delicious memories. This little boy, who I had not given the doubt that he would ever want to stop, once I just told him that it was going to stop and that this milk was no longer for him but for somebody else, he said okay. And I tell you, since then, he has not looked back. And it was just so, I don't know if it was like I thought that it was never going to happen and so it never happened. But when you start thinking like it's going to happen, things are going to start happening for you. And I know that may sound very foo-foo, very la, but I'm telling you, I really think that that's something in our life. I've even had to, in my own life recently, just have to start think the things that you want to happen into existence. He was like, okay, I could fall asleep on my own. Oh, okay, I'm not going to get breast anymore. That's all right. And I also kind of do think maybe my milk did start to change. I don't know. And then lastly, sleeping through the night, one day, he just started sleeping through the night. You put him down, and he slept the whole night through. And for so long, guys, I had worried. I had stressed. I had said this day is never going to come. But the day came, and I realized this. It's funny, my mom used to tell me this, and I think it's an old saying. I might be saying it wrong, like a watch kettle never boils. And so you have to believe things will happen, but if you sit around like doting on it and thinking about it all the time, you're going to stress yourself out to the point that sometimes it just won't happen until you release that burden of it happening. And so when it relates to your own life, I just want you all to stay encouraged that if you are consistently working towards something, because I do believe that in the Bible saying, whether you are a believer or not, I feel like there are some proverbs that really resonate with us. Is faith without works is dead. So you have to have faith, but you also have to have works behind it. And you also have to be doing something. When I say like, don't worry about it, I don't also mean like that just means like you want to be a millionaire, but you're doing nothing all day or you're not working towards that goal. Like still work towards the goal, but you have to understand that the timing of your life is meant for you. And I also think things happen when they're supposed to happen, right? Things happen when, or how they happen might sometimes seem a little crazy, but in the grand scheme of things, he stopped nursing when he was ready. He was able to sleep through the night when he was ready. He started taking naps on his own when he was ready, which also helped because in this transition of me being pregnant, me needing more help, him having new caretakers or bringing in more of my village to help support him, they were able to help me because caring for him became a little bit easier. Like he didn't need to be coddled to go to sleep or cuddled, I should say. So there's a lot of things that I just learn from him every day, and it relates back to dream driving just because we all are on this road and we're all kind of driving places. And sometimes one person's journey might seem to be really short while you might be on I-95. If you're on the East Coast, you know I-95 goes all the way down from coast to coast, from north to south, all the way down to the tip of Florida, all the way up. You know, you might be on a short little interstate, and I might be on I-95 and my journey might be longer, but guess what? That's my journey. And so I just encourage you all as we go into this week, this is a week of celebration. We're entering summer. Like, please, 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 please focus on your journey. Focus on doing the things that you need to do. I talked about this with last week's guest, or our last guest, Chelsea Lewis, and she talked about how, sometimes it was hard for her to see people that she had started out with achieving more than her, people who she was peers with doing more. And I think that's so relatable. But there's something about your journey that is so unique, and there's something that people are looking at you and like, damn, I wish I could do it like her or do it like him. And I know for me, even with Dreams and Drive, and I feel like I'm talking a lot about just how I feel Dreams and Drive is evolving or not evolving as fast as I wanted to, but there's this thing that I know no one can take away from me is that all my guests, all these shows have come from a place of heart, and everyone who's come on this show, I believe, has shared something of knowledge with you all and shared something of value that cannot be replaced and is one of a kind. And these interviews are one of a kind, and this message is one of a kind, and the sentiment that you feel is one of a kind. You are creating something that is one of a kind. You are one of a kind. You are special. The secret sauce is you. It slips my mind right now where I got that from, but the secret sauce is you. You might be looking around and being like, hey, what is everyone else doing that I'm not doing? And if you really tap into your inner gifts, if you tap into the things that make you special, you may realize that the blessings are already there. And I'll share this here with you. It's funny because I'd been on this entrepreneurial journey for a long time. And once I had Axel, went back to the corporate world, and I started building that arm of my life that I had never really built out before. Honestly, when I first got out of college, I was at a job that I was just working to get money and build the podcast kind of, but I wasn't really developing my leadership skills. And now, being at Paramount for 2 years, I just was promoted recently. I'm realizing my own earning potential. I'm realizing my own leadership potential, my leadership skills as a manager and as a leader within my team. And those things are important for me. And maybe that's the journey that I am just on right now. And Dreams and Drive, or whatever it is, if you're feeling like something's happening that something's not happening that's supposed to be happening, you have to think about it in context. What's falling short, but what's growing? Remember that your highway that you're on, as my son calls it a racetrack. He thinks every highway is a racetrack. He's like, Mommy, let's go on the racetrack. Let's go on the racetrack. Not every racetrack is meant for you to be racing. Sometimes you need to be cruising. Sometimes you need to be in the slow lane. Sometimes you just need to be crossing lanes. Sometimes you might need even to be pulled over, right? But just know that it's your journey and your journey alone. And if you trust the timing of that, there's so many blessings to be had, and there's so many things that are going to go right for you. So this week, I'm just sending you lots of love, lots of encouragement, and please send those back to me, all those good vibes back into the air for me. It's my hope to be able to just close out this season of Dreams and Drive. I'm going to be going on a short little maternity break and then come back in September. Not yet, but I'll let y'all know when that happens. And just really enjoy, I have another little one on the way, another son on the way. And I'm excited to see how that manifests and how that evolves itself. And if anything, I think that word evolution is important for you all to remember as well. You are evolving in so many ways that it's not always linear. It's not always the thing that you see, but it's the internal stuff as well. So don't count that out, right? Trust the process of your life. If my little son, who was addicted to the boobies, could stop, that means the goal you're trying to hit is coming soon, okay? I'm telling y'all. As always, guys, if you enjoyed this episode, if you want to share it with somebody that you think just needs a good pick-me-up today, please, 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 you can share this episode. Make sure you're subscribed wherever you're listening. You find us on social media at Dreams and Drive, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and TikTok as well. And yeah, join our email newsletter. our email community, The Keys. Go to dreamsanddrive.com/join and just continue. I really enjoy all y'all who's still rocking with me. I really do, guys. From the bottom of my heart, it's the relationships that you build and the relationships that you nurture are the ones that really count. And my day ones, new ones, one days, I appreciate you all. I really do, from the bottom of my heart. Keep dreaming, keep driving, and we shall chat again in episode 356. Bye, guys.